This is my response video to navythomas8. He did a video talking about travel to the stars and how long it would take. So first we would probably want to pick a Class G star, like our own sun, since that's what we'd probably be most compatible with as human beings. It would be the best choice for us. Alpha Centauri has a Class G star. It's a 3-star system and it's 4.2 light years from us. Tau Ceti is 12 light years from us and it's a 3-star system. I would say first let's do the calculations for Alpha Centauri to see how we're going to do with that as far as getting to that, since Tau Ceti is 3 times as far away, and see if within a human lifespan we can actually reach Alpha Centauri. I'm going to be using paper and a calculator to assist myself because I may be pretty good at math, but I'm not a math genius. Now, the best spacecraft we have right now can travel around 30,000 miles per hour. You're probably going to get interrupted by some cats sneaking in here to be petted, but oh well. So that would mean a craft nowadays could make the trip to the moon in approximately 8 hours. The moon's 250,000 miles away. So you take that, multiply that times 3, and that means a spacecraft that we can build nowadays can actually travel 750,000 miles in 24 hours, which would be a day. So we know Alpha Centauri is 4.2 light years away, so we have to calculate how far that is in miles, since we know we can travel 750,000 miles in a day. 1 light year is 5.8 trillion miles. Let's call it 6 trillion just to make it nice round numbers. That would be a 6 with 12 zeros after it. Yeah, 12 zeros after it. So let's say 6 trillion miles as a nice round figure times 4.2 light years away would give you 6 times 4 is 24, plus 6 times 0.2 would be 1.2. That'd be 25.2 trillion miles. So that'd be a 25 with 12 zeros behind it. 25 trillion miles. So I'm going to write that down. 25 trillion, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 zeros. Now we have to figure out, we've already figured out that we travel 750,000 miles in 1 day. And we divide that figure into 25 trillion miles. And on the calculator, we get 33,600,000 miles total. So that's, or no, we get, sorry, 33,600,000 days. It's 33,600,000 days of travel. Now, how many years would that be? We divide that by 365, and we get 92,054 years. That's quite a trip, 92,054 years. So even if we could go 10 times that speed, even if say in the next 20 years we could get up to where we could go 300,000 miles per hour, we're still talking about 9,205 years. So that's not really that great. Doesn't look very likely like we would make any kind of trip to Tau Ceti or anything like that anytime soon. Plus the fact that Tau Ceti, even though it has a G-class star, it's a younger solar system and has about 10 times the dust disk around it that our solar system has, so it's a younger solar system. And so there are some technologies right now being tested that can get us up to about 10% of the speed of light. It's still in the theoretical and not really that practical, but we have solar sails, we have nuclear propulsion, we also have what's it called, ion drive. We have ion drive. It's a slow form, but it gets you up to speed and it keeps accelerating. Any of those technologies, they're saying 20 years in the future that could get us up to 10% of light speed. Of course, I kind of think maybe 10 years from now they may still be saying that's 20 years in the future. That's just the way those things kind of work. So here's some of my big concerns about it, though. The engineering stuff aside, if I could wave a magic wand and we could make a propulsion system that could go half the speed of light and say get us to Alpha Centauri in like 8-9 years. Suppose you could do that with like a spacecraft the size of a single or a double wide trailer. And would you really want to be on that small of a size of craft for 8 to 9 years with other people? You would likely be sharing it with other people because I doubt you would want to make the trip by yourself. You'd want at least a doctor, an engineer, a pilot, and a co-pilot besides you, and probably even as a backup you would want a medical tech that was also an engineer too. And then what would your job be? Well, probably if you're traveling for 10 years, you wouldn't want to eat space glop protein for 10 years, even if you could pack enough of it on board. So probably what you would end up doing is you would be the plant guy. You'd be the guy running the mini farm. And probably because of that, half the double wide would be taken up just by space for the mini farm, so that you could actually eat some decent food and not go crazy eating space glop. So these are just some of my concerns. I hope these calculations maybe help you out to see what the distance actually is and how tremendous it is. So here is my answer for Navy Thomas.